Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
A cold start this morning, but cold temperatures tomorrow morning led us to a brand new winter weather advisory for tomorrow morning, just for 2 of our counties. Tomorrow's a WRAL Weather Alert Day. I'll show you what to expect where you are.
It's cold out there for the crews still working to repair a large gas leak on Bragg Boulevard in Fayetteville.
A message from Duke Energy leaves several customers concerned about power outages. Coming up, what you need to know about your energy use this morning.
Well, we have lots to get to here in the 8 o'clock hour. All the information you need to get Friday started. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Ken Smith with all that in mind. Let's go ahead and get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner of the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking how our day is going to shape up.
It's beautiful out there right now. We take a live look at Fayetteville, and you can see the blue skies there. We're seeing that across the viewing area, but it's cold. We dropped down to 25. We've just crept back up to 26 degrees. Our winds are fairly light, so we're not looking at any real widespread wind chill at this point. 22 in Southern Pines is 28 in Fayetteville, 24 Goldsboro, 20 in South Hill, and 18 in Roxborough. So much colder than it was this time yesterday. Sunshine this afternoon and temperatures in the upper 40s. But this evening, skies will cloud up as we see that next system approaching us. And again, new this morning, a winter weather advisory in effect for a couple of our counties, but for the Triad and back toward the mountains. The closer you get to the mountains, the better chance that you might run into some slick bridges or some issues on the roads. There could be an inch or two of snow in the mountains in the morning. It looks like it'll change to rain in the afternoon. But tomorrow is a WRAL Weather Alert Day. In Mecklenburg County, Virginia, and in Person County, we could end up with a light glazing, not enough to cause any travel problems here or any power outages. But you can watch the pink areas show up just for an hour or two tomorrow morning. The warm air continues to push northward and change that all over to rain. And we're looking at rain across the rest of the viewing area for most of the day. By mid to late afternoon, it starts to slide out of the area. So if you do have plans to be out and about late Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, out to dinner or a concert or a show, the rain will be over by that point. So a chance of some freezing rain, mainly to our west, but we could see a little bit of that in Roxborough or up around Clarksville. Otherwise, looking at cold rain for tomorrow. Now, we're looking at a heavier rain on Tuesday with a chance for some damaging winds and possibly some scattered severe storms. I'll show you what to expect coming up in just a little bit. Brian?
It is 8:02 right now. We still are following this crash in Raleigh on Lead Mine Road, just north of North Hills Drive, more specifically at the Charles Drive intersection. Taking a closer look at the sensor data in that area, you can see some backups in both directions of Lead Mine Road. Raleigh 911 says this is a crash with injuries, so they have EMS responding there. Looks like delays on the southbound side of Lead Mine Road began around Sugar Bush, and on the northbound side, not too far from North Hills Drive. That's where you start to slow down up toward Charles Drive. So allow a little extra time for that to get cleared there on Lead Mine just north of Glenwood Avenue. Around the rest of the triangle, that earlier crash on 540 eastbound around Knightdale Boulevard largely has cleared. I'm watching a crash on Knightdale Boulevard at Old Knight Road, but I'm not seeing any big delays with that. Elsewhere around the triangle, we're watching some sun glare backups building. I'm going to take you to South Durham for that live camera at I-40 at Alston Avenue, not too far from 55 and the 885 interchange. And you can see where traffic on the eastbound side is slowing down as drivers encounter that glare. I don't think this 17-minute delay is accurate right now. I think it's more like a 10-minute backup on 40 eastbound from 15501 out to 885. And then if you're heading from the airport area back toward Raleigh on 40 eastbound, about a 9-minute delay with sun glare backups from Aviation Parkway down to Harrison Avenue. If you're getting ready to head out right now, don't forget you can listen to this newscast live on the radio at 99.3 FM in Raleigh, 96.5 FM in Durham. Another traffic update coming up in just a few minutes.
Well, Duke Energy apologizing for a message it sent to thousands of customers. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey explains why people were so concerned about potential blackouts this morning.
For some people, the message was really concerning, so that's why today the staff here at Duke Energy is working to clear all of this up. You may have received this message yesterday. It says customers should save energy between 6 and 9 o'clock this morning. That's because there will be high energy demand due to colder temperatures. Some customers were worried about blackouts like the ones that happened about a year ago. They left more than 500,000 people without power over Christmas weekend. WRAL spoke with Duke Energy spokesperson Jeff Brooks. He says this was the purpose of yesterday's message.
The point of it is to make customers aware that we are going to see higher demand and taking steps to protect the grid, make it reliable. And this is an opportunity for customers to be aware that that is the time of day when we tend to see our highest usage. And if there's things they can do to help, we appreciate it.
If you can save energy today, that's great. But as far as those blackouts are concerned, Brooks says folks shouldn't have anything to worry about. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
Crews are continuing work to repair the gas leak in Fayetteville right along Bragg Boulevard. People there were forced out of their homes and businesses. Some had to go to shelters overnight. Brett Neese is in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker on Bragg Boulevard.
The goal is to have this fixed sometime this morning so that Bragg Boulevard can reopen. In the meantime, they have signs posted like this showing you what that detour around this area looks like. Take a look at video from Sky 5. We're talking about a pretty large stretch of road that is closed. Officials tell me a contractor struck a gas main yesterday afternoon. That's what caused all of this. Dozens of people and several businesses had to be evacuated. The Red Cross is helping out those who were displaced for the night. Christy Blue and her mother, they were two of those people. They were staying at a motel that was evacuated. They decided to go to that shelter where they could stay warm.
Some hot coffee and some shelter for us tonight and food, and we're blessed and we're highly favored.
Crews were able to bypass where the leak is, which means no residents have lost gas service, which is good news for people whose homes use that to be heated, especially after such a cold night. In Fayetteville, Brett Neese, WRAL News.
Wake County Sheriff's deputies arresting this man in connection with a shooting that happened on Quiet Oaks Road near Nightdale. This is 69-year-old Alfonso King. He's charged with assault with a deadly weapon inflicting serious injuries. It happened yesterday. When law enforcement got to that scene, they found a man who had a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital but is expected to recover. The sheriff's office says King and the victim knew each other. The investigation is ongoing.
Drivers are raising safety concerns over what they call a dangerous intersection in Cary. This is after a woman died in a crash. 73-year-old Janice Sanders Poitier had to be extracted from this car after colliding with a pickup truck. It happened at 1010 Road and Plumtree Way during the evening commute yesterday. Cary police say the sedan turned into the path of the F-150 pickup truck. One neighbor says turning onto this road can be risky.
I really want to ask city, county really consider to have a warning or slow down traffic so driver from the northbound on 1010 know there is a hidden driveway danger spot.
The driver of the truck was not injured. No charges will be filed.
We're working to learn how a 10-year-old boy got his hands on a gun and then shot himself. This happened just before midnight on Wednesday on Dexter Street in Rocky Mount. The boy had a gunshot wound to his thigh and was taken to the hospital. Investigators say the shooting was an accident, but it's not clear who owns that weapon. No word on whether charges will be filed.
We're working to find out the name of the person who was hit and killed on Hammond Road in Raleigh. We first brought you this story as breaking news yesterday morning. Police closed the northbound lanes of Hammond at I-40 for more than 4 hours while they investigated. Police say the person was sitting in the far left lane and the driver didn't slow down and hit them. The driver faces charges.
The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has been the center of debate at the local government level all across the triangle. Voices on all sides of the issue spoke at Durham City Council members yesterday. Many speakers asked the council to sign a resolution in support of a ceasefire in Gaza. Some said Durham should not get involved. Durham Mayor Leonardo Williams says he is working with a small group of people to discuss how to respond to the issue.
It may not make everybody happy. That is not why I was elected. But trust me, the advocacy on this issue is just as loud on all sides. All sides.
This has also been an ongoing discussion at Raleigh City Council meetings. In November, the Carborough Town Council did pass a ceasefire resolution. It called on the Biden administration to facilitate de-escalating in Gaza and to send humanitarian aid.
Raleigh is lowering the water level at Lake Johnson to prepare for heavy rain expected this weekend. Sky 5 flew over the lake yesterday and the level is down about a foot. This will allow the lake to hold more rainwater and prevent flooding in surrounding areas. The goal is to lower the lake by another foot by the time the rain gets here this weekend.
Time now 8:09. Raleigh keeps growing and we talk a lot about the people moving to the city. Up next, find out where all those people are moving from and why.
Plus, an incredible story of survival after the powerful earthquake that hit the western part of Japan New Year's Day. A look at new video of rescue workers pulling a woman in her 80s from under her collapsed home.
And new this morning, we have a winter weather advisory for Person County and Mecklenburg County, Virginia. Tomorrow is a WRAL weather alert day. Most of us will see a cold rain, but I'll go over specifically what you'll see coming up.
It is 13 after 8 on your Friday morning. Sunshine in Zebulon. Good morning to our viewers there as you watch WRAL News, available on Spectrum and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device. Looks peaceful enough, calm enough right now, and it is. It will be today. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, but this is where things will change headed towards the weekend and that weather alert day.
Yes, tomorrow we'll see a system that rolls in early in the morning, and we'll see cold temperatures to start with. So in our northwestern counties, two of them, Person County, potentially Mecklenburg County, Virginia, we could see a little bit of light glaze of freezing rain. So new this morning, there's a winter weather advisory in effect for those two counties. It is a weather alert day for tomorrow. And even though our freezing rain will be very limited tomorrow and we should see no impact, it is going to be a chilly rain all day. It's going to be inconvenient. If you had plans to be out on Saturday, it's going to be uncomfortable to be outside. If you're going to be driving west of our area, by the time you get closer to the mountains, you might run into some travel problems. The mountains could see a couple of inches of snow in the morning. In the afternoon, it looks like it will change over to rain even there. So Person County and Mecklenburg County, Virginia, expect a light glaze, but nothing that would cause power outages or slick conditions on the roads. And that would be very early in the morning. This system could cause travel problems in other parts of the country and even issues for us here if you're trying to fly out. The system will have a lot of snow with it, just not for our viewing area. It will clip the mountains and then head northward with the snow, but it will be a lot of rain for us, a half an inch to an inch of rain. Here's the timeline for us tomorrow. We kick it off at 3. We pause it here at 5 o'clock. The new run of the computer model pulls that freezing line way back to the west, and that's excellent news. And we do have the advisory in effect that's issued by the National Weather Service, and of course we'll continue to be talking about it. But we just, each morning as we get the new runs of the computer models in, it's getting warmer and warmer. That's great news. But still, it's going to be a chilly rain for us. It gets warmer in terms of any chance of anything frozen. At lunchtime, the rain becomes scattered, and it likely is out of here by around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It'll be steadier and heavier in the morning. Here's a look at our forecast rainfall, looking at about half an inch to an inch of rain. That's not likely to cause any flooding, but you add this rain to what we could see on Tuesday, and then we may be in for some trouble. We take a look at our snow potential, and you can see maybe a couple of inches there in the mountains, but as I mentioned, it may change over to rain in the afternoon Saturday. But it could be an issue from D.C. to New York all the way up into New England in terms of some travel problems. This could be an even bigger deal for us here. On Tuesday, big wind and rain, looking at as much as 50-mile-per-hour gusts or stronger. 2 to 4 inches of rain could cause some flooding issues. We're looking at this area where we could see a chance of 50-plus-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And then an area that the Storm Prediction Center is watching for tomorrow. They may go ahead and put that in a level 1 or 2 risk for severe storms. Here's a look at the timeline. It arrives early on Tuesday, and it just lasts and lasts. Instead of tapering off in the afternoon, like we'll see on Saturday, it continues well into the overnight period on Wednesday. So we have the potential to see a lot of rain out of that system. And again, we have the potential for some damaging winds. So a weather alert day tomorrow and again Tuesday. If you're looking to get out this weekend, Sunday will be dry. Brian?
It is 8:16 right now, and all new, we're getting reports of a crash on 40 eastbound right around Page Road as you head through South Durham into the RTP area. You add that with our sun glare delays, and we are picking up some pretty big backups. Checking in again on that live camera at I-40 at Alston Avenue in Durham as drivers head into the sun glare backups there on 40 eastbound. You can see we're now measuring a 2-minute delay on the south side of Durham between 15501 and 885, but now more significant delays as you head between 540 and Wade Avenue. So leaving the airport area, heading back toward Cary and Raleigh, about a 10-minute backup, and that is all because of sun glare. Let's take a look at some of the other problems we are watching around the triangle. In Raleigh, still have that crash reported on Lead Mine Road, north of North Hills Drive at Charles Drive, still picking up some backups in that area. Taking a look at some of our major approaches into Raleigh right now. Not so bad from south and eastern Wake County heading back toward the capital city. Now, coming in from Wake Forest, we are seeing about a 3-minute delay on the southbound side of Capitol Boulevard. Here's a closer look at that crash at Lead Mine Road near Charles Drive. Most recent sensor update indicates that we're starting to see some of the backups easing a little bit, so they may be clearing that crash.
Brian, thanks. South African Paralympic gold medalist Oscar Pistorius is out of prison this morning on parole. He was released about 2 o'clock this morning, our time. Pistorius was convicted of killing his girlfriend Reva Steenkamp on Valentine's Day back in 2013. He shot her through the bathroom door of their home, claiming he thought she was an intruder. Now, based on the conditions of his parole, Pistorius cannot drink alcohol, give media interviews, or leave Pretoria, where he will live. A remarkable rescue efforts of an 80-year-old woman in Japan Thursday after a 7.6 magnitude earthquake rocked that western part of the country on New Year's Day. Video shows emergency workers trying to reach the woman who was trapped in a collapsed 2-story residential building. The woman was pulled from the debris as concerns about finding survivors grew. Thousands of Japanese troops have joined the effort to reach the hardest hit areas on the Ikukawa Peninsula. Now, worries continue to grow about communities that are cut off where food and medical supplies have not yet arrived.
Back here at home, a grain company in Wilson will have to pay $43,000 in fines after a worker fell to her death. 58-year-old Annie Wilberts was an employee at Smithfield Grain. She was riding a lift when a safety device on the machine failed, causing her to fall 70 feet. She died at the scene. This week, regulators fined Smithfield Grain. They found 4 serious safety violations. And by law, that money goes to the public school system. Drug maker Eli Lilly is launching a service to connect patients with telehealth care and deliver medications to their homes. The service is called Lilly Direct. It'll be geared toward people who need medications for obesity, diabetes, and migraines. This comes after recent moves by weight loss companies, Weight Watchers and Noom into telehealth prescribing. This new service marks the first time a pharmaceutical company has gotten this involved in care coordination and delivery of its products.
Well, today's jobs report is expected to show the U.S. gained about 160,000 jobs in December.
And it is employment like that, experts say, is key to warding off a recession. Amy Kiley reports on the potential for a so-called economic soft landing.
That is, for all Americans, good news. You have a job and prices are finally starting to moderate.
New reports show the U.S. might pull off that elusive soft landing, curtailing inflation without a recession. Today's jobs update is another data point in the big picture, but many Americans say they just don't feel it.
The typical American household has to spend over $1,000 more a month to buy the same goods and services as they did 3 years ago because of inflation. And that bugs people.
For decades, we got accustomed to very low inflation. We forgot what it is for inflation to go up.
Politicians are paying attention to that contrast between facts and feelings.
What's important is what matters to the American people and their families at that kitchen table. And the economy is the big kitchen table issue.
Still, the numbers are there. Freddie Mac says mortgage rates have ticked up a bit, but that's after 9 weeks of declines. Meanwhile, a new report shows record e-commerce this holiday season.
I think you and I as consumers will keep spending just as long as we have a job.
The Federal Reserve seems optimistic about the future. It's hinting it'll start cutting rates in the coming months.
I do think by this time next year, people will be feeling a lot better.
That was Amy Kiley reporting, and there is a concern about oil prices. Middle East tensions and shipping concerns have sent them creeping up.
One more note about jobs. A new report shows the top 10 jobs that will stay hot in 2024. The report from data company PayScale identifies several jobs that have seen a growth in compensation. Hairdressers, a car body repairer, a fitness coach were a few of the roles that saw an 18 to 24% increase in pay last year, with a master plumber seeing the highest yearly pay of $82,700. PayScale says it expects these jobs to remain high in demand in the new year.
Wake County is one of the fastest growing areas in the country, and we're getting new data on where people are moving here from. Now, this map shows the difference between how many people are moving to Wake County compared to those leaving. Any state in yellow means more people have moved from Wake County to that area than from the state to here. Now, the darker colors, the more people are moving here from those locations.
One of the most attractive aspects of our community is is both our quality of place and our cost of living.
So Wake County saw the highest net migration from New Jersey, New York, other North Carolina counties, and Virginia and California as well. All of those other states have higher household median incomes than ours. So with the transition to remote work, those people from those areas are bringing those higher incomes with them, and that boosts our economy.
Well, the winners of the 2023 WRAL Voters' Choice Awards will be announced starting this afternoon. The annual awards will honor your local favorites in more than 100 categories. Voting happened this past fall. We'll start it off today with the Woman of the Year winner. That will be announced at 4:55 this afternoon on WRAL News. Go to WRAL.com/VCAs to get the full schedule of winner reveals and to see the list of your favorite local businesses.
Coming up, a new WakeMed Emergency Care Center is coming to Wendell. We have details on the ribbon cutting that's happening this morning. That's still ahead.
Also, a family dog enjoys the priciest meal of his life, $4,000 in cash. We'll explain what's happening here.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning at 8:26. I'm Ken Smith. It's dry out there now. Beautiful, actually, but we've got some major changes to tell you about. Let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner at the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
New this morning, a winter weather advisory in effect for tomorrow morning for Person County and Mecklenburg County, Virginia. Tomorrow is a WRAL weather alert day. We could briefly see some light freezing rain in those northern counties, but it's not likely to last. What will last is a cold rain for much of the day. So enjoy today. It looks pretty in Wilson right now. Not much of a wind chill out there. It's 28 in Fayetteville, 26 in Durham, and 19 in Roxborough. So it's been a much colder morning than it was yesterday. That big puffy coat, if you have one, will feel good as you're heading out the door. Send one with the kids this morning. As they get off the bus, temperatures will be in the upper 40s. Brian?
Elizabeth, all new at 8:27. Reports of a minor crash up on the north side of Raleigh at Leesville Road near Farless Road. That is not too far from 540. Not seeing big delays with that one. It likely will get cleared pretty quickly. Still seeing a little bit of a delay on 40 eastbound as you head away from 885 back toward Page Road with a report of a minor crash out there. Clears up quickly once you get through that interchange. Also still seeing some sun glare delays on 40 eastbound heading between 540 and Wade Avenue. That ride from the airport back toward Raleigh just a little slow this morning. And look out for a crash in Garner on Mechanical Boulevard, not too far from 401.
Duke Energy apologizing after sending a confusing message to customers. Now, in that message, the company said there would be high demand this morning and to minimize energy use. The company says there's no issues with having blackouts today, and this was just part of a program to encourage people to save energy because of the cold temperatures we're experiencing. Wake County Sheriff's Office arresting 69-year-old Alfonso King in connection with a shooting on Quiet Oaks Road near Nightdale. King is charged with assault with a deadly weapon inflicting serious injury for last night's shooting. More local news at Fox 50 coming up.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
It's a cold start this morning, but tomorrow morning we have a winter weather advisory. That's new this morning. I'll show you which counties are covered and what you could see where you are.
With those cold temperatures in mind, Duke Energy apologizing after sending a message that was rather confusing to many customers. We'll explain the text that sparked fears of impending blackouts.
Also, crews are still out there working to repair a large gas leak on Bragg Boulevard in Fayetteville. It's been going on since late yesterday afternoon, disrupting a lot of business and a lot of folks in their homes. I'm Jeff Hogan. It's good to have you with us here this morning.
And I'm Ken Smith. Of course, if you're heading out this morning, heavy coats are in order. Let's go to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. It's beautiful out, though. It
is pretty out there right now, isn't it? Nothing but sunshine here in Fayetteville, and that's true across the viewing area. Our temperatures have been cold this morning in the Triangle. It's 26. Temperatures have been in the upper 20s in Fayetteville this morning as well. We take a look at current temperature. It's 28 there in Fayetteville, 26 in Goldsboro, 22 in Southern Pines and South Hill. It's 19 in Roxborough. We haven't had very much of a wind chill today. That sunshine is with us for much of the afternoon. afternoon, we'll climb into the upper 40s, but we will see increasing clouds around sunset and into the evening as we see our next system coming in. So tomorrow's a WRAL weather alert day. New this morning, winter weather advisory. If you're going to be traveling west tomorrow, especially like due west through the Triad and toward the mountains, as you get closer to the mountains, there could be some slick roads, but most likely we wouldn't see that around here. We would be in for a very brief period of some very light freezing rain for Person County and up there in Mecklenburg County, Virginia. That will change over to all rain very quickly, and the rest of the viewing area will end up seeing a cold rain. As a matter of fact, our newer runs of the computer models push that line where the freezing rain could be much farther to the west. Those are the new runs this morning, and it really just shows rain for us. Of course, that advisory is still in effect, and we'll continue to talk about it for you. Some scattered showers into the afternoon. It'll be steadier in the morning. By the time we get to mid to late afternoon, it is over, and we're looking at about a half an inch to an inch of rain, which shouldn't cause any flooding, but it will be just inconvenient and uncomfortable for us, especially the first half of the day on Saturday. Tuesday looks even worse. We could see heavy rain, possibly some severe storms, and some very strong, possibly damaging winds. We'll talk more about that coming up. Brian?
It is 8:32 right now. Let's take a look at traffic. All new, a report of a crash over on the west side of Durham on 15501 Business or Durham Chapel Hill Boulevard out at Cornwallis Road. And we are seeing some delays showing up in that area, so allow some extra time. Let's head over to the north side of Raleigh with a crash reported at Leesville Road near Farless Road, north of 540. I haven't seen any delay showing up on the sensors in that area just yet. Good news over in Knightdale. That earlier crash on Knightdale Boulevard out at Smithfield Road has cleared in the past couple of minutes, and it looks like traffic's flowing pretty well through there. And there's a minor crash reported on Mechanical Boulevard in Garner, but we're not seeing any big delays. Taking a look at overall conditions on roads around the Triangle, our major routes are looking pretty good. Fairly light volume this morning. A little bit of a sun glare delay lingering there as you head between the airport back toward Wade Avenue on 40 eastbound. Just a little bit of brake tapping there, especially between Harrison Avenue and Wade Avenue. Also, just a little bit of a slowdown heading northbound on US 1 out of Apex between 1010 Road and the 64 Tryon Road interchange.
Hey, Brian, thanks. So crews continue their work to repair a major gas leak in Fayetteville. That leak reported near Bragg Boulevard and Bargain Street prompted repairs and forced businesses and homes to evacuate. Roads including Bragg Boulevard and Sycamore Dairy Road remain closed. Crews hope to have this fixed by mid-morning, but Bragg Boulevard's reopening is a bit uncertain. Evacuated families sought shelter with the Red Cross providing support at Westover Recreation Center.
Duke Energy is apologizing after sending a confusing message to its customers. In the message, the company said there would be high demand this morning and asked to minimize energy use. Well, now they say there'll be no reliability issues of any kind today. It's part of a program to encourage saving energy.
3 people are in custody after shots were fired inside the Berkeley Mall in Goldsboro yesterday afternoon. Now, video posted to Facebook appears to show at least 2 of those gunmen.
Right there.
Yeah, we circled the suspects. They're running away. Employees tell us that they heard more than 10 shots inside that mall, and then people frantically ran for cover. Several schools in the area were also on lockdown. 3 suspects are charged with attempted murder. No one was hurt.
A soldier from Fort Liberty who was seriously hurt in a drone attack over the holidays could return to the U.S. today. Chief Warrant Officer for Garrett Ilbrun. He has been in a hospital in Germany since he was wounded in a drone attack at Erbil Air Base in northern Iraq. It happened on Christmas Day. A close friend told WRAL Ilbrun is in a coma but has had some arm movement. His wife is there with him, and their son Tucker is getting lots of support back at home. A spokesperson for the 82nd Airborne Division at Fort Liberty says he is expected to be sent to Walter Reed National Medical Center in Maryland to continue his recovery. That could happen as soon as today.
Residents in Perry, Iowa are grieving after a 17-year-old student shot and killed a 6th grader and injured 5 others. It was the first day back after winter break. Hundreds gathered last night for a candlelight vigil in the center of town, many pausing in quiet reflection, others embracing their friends and neighbors. A school administrator was one of the 5 people hurt in that shooting.
Funeral arrangements have now been set for Greensboro Police Department Sergeant Philip Nix. It'll be held next Thursday, January 11th, at Westover Church in Greensboro. It's unclear at this time if the service will be open to the public. There was a run last night honoring Sergeant Nix. A 15-year-old, Zachariah Cartledge from Florida, launched an organization called Running for Heroes. Since then, he has run for fallen officers all across the nation. And last night, he honored Sergeant Nix with a 1-mile run while carrying the Blue Line flag. Nix was shot several times after witnessing a crime at a gas station in Greensboro December 30th.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will arrive in the Middle East today as the U.S. grapples with how to prevent a wider Middle East war from breaking out. Blinken is expected to make it clear Houthi attacks on merchant ships in the southern Red Sea are unacceptable. He'll do that during his multi-stop visit. Blinken will also talk with Israeli leaders on what their plans are for the operations in Gaza in the coming weeks. Houthis in Yemen have been targeting merchant ships since the war in Gaza started back in October.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, breaking news, the December jobs report is out. 216,000 new jobs were added in December. That is much better than expected. Economists predicted about 170,000 new hires. So this number is a sign of continued economic strength. Economists expect more signs of an improving economy as well. There are hopes that this year will bring cuts to interest rates after a string of rate hikes by the Fed over the past year. Taking a look at the markets right now and how they are faring after this news. All in the red this morning. Dow Jones down 66 points, S&P down 8 points, and NASDAQ down 36 points right now. But again, 216,000 new jobs added, much better than expected.
All right, now 8:37. Up next, we'll take a closer look at the sharp rise in theft insurance claims for Hyundai and Kia vehicles.
Family fun this first weekend of 2024 if you're planning to go out and about. WRAL lifestyle editor Kathy Hanrahan will join us for a live preview.
And heading to break, we want to give you a live look at sunny Bull City this morning, courtesy of the WRAL Live Cab Network. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking some major changes coming to our forecast in the next 24 hours. 8:41 now is to give you a live look at White Lake. Look at your screen. Look at all those birds on the docks. Just taking a break from this really chilly morning. Let's go ahead and welcome in meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner to the WRAL Live Center. Everywhere you look, it's beautiful out there, but boy, do we have some changes on the way.
Our temperatures are a lot colder this morning than they were yesterday. Yesterday, we were mid to upper 30s. We're looking at low to mid 20s in some spots this morning, some upper 20s certainly, including Fayetteville. Last check was around 28. And the Triangle, it's 26 right now, but we do climb into the upper 40s for highs this afternoon. Some frosty wind chills out there this morning, and there's been a wind chill in a few places. The wind has really died down, so it's 22 in Southern Pines, it's 21 in Roxborough, 22 South Hill, 28 Goldsboro, 32 in Clinton. So cold start out there this morning. But with sunshine, we'll see 48 this afternoon in Raleigh, 47 in Durham, and 50 degrees in Fayetteville. Now we get toward the end of the day, and we'll start to see some of this cloud cover moving into North Carolina, but we don't see the rain until early tomorrow morning, and it will mostly be rain for us. But that's not true for the whole country. You can see all the snow that's on the north and east end of this system. That means potential travel problems, possibly some flight delays, even for our airport as this moves eastward across the country. The snow will clip us and move on up into the northeast and into New England as we get through the weekend. New this morning, we have a winter weather advisory in effect for Person County and for Mecklenburg County, Virginia. The model runs as they've come in this morning are trending warmer. That means an even lesser chance of any freezing rain, but the winter weather advisory was issued by the Weather Service this morning, so we'll continue to talk about it as long as they keep this up. It is a WRAL weather alert day because we're going to see rain for most of the day, and it will be uncomfortable and inconvenient if you had planned to be outside. We take a look at Futurecast, and we're all dry at 2:30 or 3 a.m., but we push it ahead and pause it there at 4:30. The previous run of the models had started to show some pink on the screen there around Roxborough, even down closer to Durham. But at this point, at 5 o'clock, it's all back into the foothills and the mountains, and so that's great news. It doesn't mean that we're completely out of the woods, but the models are definitely trending a little bit warmer. We really weren't expecting to see a lot of impacts from this anyway. The amounts would be very light, so we're not looking at travel issues for us here in our viewing area, and we're not looking at any power outages. Now, if you are going to be traveling farther to the west, getting into the mountains, they may have some slick conditions there. We'll see scattered showers during the morning into the afternoon. It all begins to lift out of here, say mid to late afternoon. So if you have plans to be out late Saturday around sunset, if you're heading to dinner or to a movie, the rain will be over by that point. 48 today, 55 tomorrow. So we're looking looking at fairly cool temperatures as this rain is falling. But with sunshine on Sunday, it feels much more comfortable. We'll see a high 56. But with partly cloudy skies, you should be able to get out and enjoy. Tuesday is a day that we're watching very closely. It'll be a warmer day, so nothing frozen, 65 degrees. But what we could see is the potential for some severe storms, some damaging wind, and rain heavy enough to cause flooding. So Tuesday is already a WRAL weather alert day. Keep checking back for updates.
All right, Elizabeth, thanks. Next week, former President Donald Trump is planning to attend a D.C. hearing on his presidential immunity claims. Tuesday, Trump's attorneys are expected to argue he is immune from prosecution on charges he illegally tried to overturn the 2020 election. The election interference trial is on hold while Trump appeals a federal judge's rejection of his presidential immunity claims. His attorneys argue if Trump wasn't impeached and convicted by Congress, he is not subject to criminal prosecution.
A lot of car thieves continue to steal certain older Kia and Hyundai models. Theft insurance claims for these vehicles shot up more than 1,000% between 2020 and 2023. That's according to the Highway Loss Data Institute. The group says some Hyundai and Kia models from 2015 to 2019 just aren't equipped with basic prevention technology. After social media videos showing how to illegally start these cars went viral, the thefts went up even more. Hyundai and Kia recently agreed to a $200 million settlement with millions of car owners over the lack of security software.
Raleigh will soon build a new 17-story city hall with a price tag of $206 million. Sky 5 flew over the area right across from Nash Square. Crews are working to demolish the old Raleigh Police headquarters at McDowell and West Hargett Streets. It's been vacant since 2010. The new East Civic Tower will rise up on this corner. The building will have updated technology, security improvements, and a bigger city council chambers. It will consolidate city offices under one roof. Now, right now, those offices are spread out across 5 buildings downtown, costing the city about $62,000 a month in rent.
The taxpayers are really paying to upkeep and maintain and rent spaces in so many different places. And so I think the goal has always been to consolidate into a new facility that could be a gathering place for the community, that could increase efficiencies and customer service, and then also provide some cost savings in the long run.
Now, the original plans called for a 20-story building, but that was reduced to 17 because of rising construction costs. The city hopes to have the East Civic Tower finished by December 2026.
Raleigh is lowering the water level at Lake Johnson to prepare for heavy rain expected this weekend. Sky 5 flew over the lake yesterday, and it is down about a foot, that level. This will allow the lake to hold more rainwater when it comes and prevent flooding in surrounding areas.
And we've learned in recent years that we can lower the lake level in advance of the storm events before the rain comes, capture that water, hold it right here in beautiful Lake Johnson, and that reduces flooding for all areas downstream along Walnut Creek.
Also, now the goal is to lower the lake by another foot by the time that rain gets here this weekend.
A new Wake Med Emergency Care Center is opening in Wendell. A ribbon cutting is happening around 9 o'clock this morning for the Wake Med Wendell Healthplex. It's located on Wendell Valley Boulevard. This is the healthcare system's 8th full-service emergency department. It will officially open to patients on Tuesday. Well, Christmas trees donated in Wake County will take a new life today as part of Wake County Trail. The trees will be put through a wood chipper today at Blue Jay Point and then will be used as mulch for the county's park trails. It's part of the Happy Trails program, which sees thousands of trees repurposed every year. Since 2012, more than 51,000 trees have been donated and turned into nearly 1,000 tons of mulch.
Alabama's new multi-million-dollar whitewater park will play a key role in the 2024 Paris Olympics. The site in Montgomery will host U.S. canoe slalom and kayak cross Olympic team trials. The park is a 120-acre state-of-the-art recirculating whitewater park and outdoor adventure center. It opened in July. The trials are taking place April 13th and 14th, and they are open to the public.
Hurricanes forward Sebastian Aho was selected to the NHL All-Star Game. This is his third time being selected. Aho has 43 points this season. All-Star Weekend is February 1st through the 3rd in Toronto.
First weekend of 2024 is filled with family fun, including some famous voice actors who are in town. And WRAL lifestyle editor Kathy Hanrahan is here with Out and About's best bets, starting with that big convention that's in town. Kathy?
This is a lot of fun. Okay, so we've got the Animate Convention, Animate Raleigh. That's happening Sunday, now through Sunday at the Raleigh Convention Center. It is so much fun. So many different voice actors are going to be appearing at that. We've got people from Beauty and the Beast, Phineas and Ferb, I mean, just about anything you can think of. And they have single day passes as well. And children, I believe 9 years and younger, are admitted free with a paying adult.
Tonight is First Friday in downtown Raleigh, so the last chance to check out that Illuminate Art Walk. So cool.
This is so cool. A lot of people got a chance to see this during the whole first night celebration. So now we've got First Friday happening tonight. It's your last chance, Illuminate Art Walk. It's a self-guided tour. They've got about 18 to 20 beautiful light sculptures, including this Talking Heads exhibit in City Plaza.
They're a little freaky to look at, but they're pretty cool.
They're so cool.
Yeah, exactly. In Durham, meantime, there's Broadway show in town. Tell us about Girl from the North Country.
Yes, if you're a fan of Bob Dylan, you definitely want to go see this show. It's running through Sunday over at DPAC. It features 20 of Bob Dylan's songs reimagined into this amazing stage show. Tickets are available through this weekend. They are going fast. I think Sunday is your best chance if you want to get tickets.
All right, so that makes it another busy weekend in the Triangle. For more on these events and even more picks for your weekend, just go to WRAL.com, search keyword Out and About. Kathy, thanks.
Well, the Golden Globe Awards return on Sunday. The show has gone through some big changes. So what does this mean for award season? David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
The Golden Globes has been revamped with new owners and expanded membership, and after years of scandals, no more Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Now we'll see whether all that affects the results. Historically, Globe winners go on to win Oscars only about half the time. Barbie leads this year's film nominations with 9, followed by Oppenheimer with 8.
Great, scared me.
The new horror film Night Swim was a chance for Carrie Condon to return to one of her first loves, swimming.
I was a competitive swimmer as a kid, but I was always bronze. I always won bronze. I hate bronze. It's like, you know what, unless it's gold, I don't even want it. So I think that's why I gave up on my swimming aspirations, because I thought, oh, geez, if I'm just getting bronze and I'm busting my arse, like, forget it.
I want to help you, but Taffy says it's a waste of time to try and fix a wife. It's better just accept a guy's flaws.
Here's your latest look at Lisa Frankenstein as a goth teen and her undead boyfriend go on a killing spree to furnish his missing body parts. Katherine Newton and Cole Sprouse star. The coming-of-rage love story opens in theaters February 9th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, here's the deal. You don't have to hit the drive-thru to get your Taco Bell fix anymore. You can make it right at home.
Yeah, Taco Bell is teaming up with Kraft Heinz to enter the cooking-at-home market. They already sell taco kits, but now the company is offering Crunch Wrap and Quesadilla kits. They'll be sold at Walmart locations nationwide and online. Well, this comes after Taco Bell fans making their own versions of the chain's menu items and posting those on social media, racking up millions of views. So some marketing genius at Taco Bell said, we got to get in on that.
Yeah, people are going to make it when they make it from us.
Exactly. Well, you know that old cliche, the dog ate my homework? Well, it pales in comparison to what happened to a Pittsburgh couple.
How about this one? Their beloved pet, Cecil, took many bites out of their bank withdrawal. Clayton Law arrived back at home from the bank and laid that envelope with $4,000 in it on the counter. The money was intended for workers who had built a fence for them. And in the middle of the night, old Cecil made like an ATM there.
Yeah, the couple said Cecil wouldn't touch a steak if you left it on the table, but there was something about the smell of money that he couldn't resist. Clayton and his wife began taping the bills together. So far, believe it or not, they've resurrected a total of $3,550, which the bank will honor, even though they've been torn.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
all right. So the Cecil with the IOU for $400 or so left?
Yeah. Hopefully they'll get it all back.
Hopefully. Serial
Cecil.
numbers, right?
We'll keep you, Cecil, though. All right, heading to break. You're winning North Carolina Education Lottery numbers right there on the screen. Also, we'll get another check of weather and traffic after the break.